Welcome back, everyone, to another Slab Stocks YouTube live show. I'm your host, Aaron, joined here by Nate, our other co-host, and we got a lot of questions to cover again today. Nate, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited for another great show.
Clearly, I'm excited too. Already yawning.
Wow. What is it? It's 5 o'clock here, Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time every single Monday is when we do this YouTube live show. If you guys look in the description of this video, there's a form submission for next week's YouTube live that you can submit questions through for next week's live because we already got all the questions for this week's live. However, if you're live in the audience, we love all the engagement you guys show every week. Please comment in there if you guys want to discuss any topics we're talking about or any other topics you might have to talk about between collectors. It helps us get a lot of questions answered and a lot of you guys in here discussing sports cards, which is what we want to do. And we really appreciate that. If you guys hit that like button and subscribe, it helps out our channel immensely. And without further ado, we will jump into this week's YouTube live presentation because every week we make a presentation. Oop, there goes Nate. Oh, there we go.
Hey-o.
There we go. Third time's a charm.
Hey, que pasa, chicas? Which is what? What's up, girls?
Yeah, what's up, girls?
What's up, girls?
What's up, Michael Brown? How's it going? What's up, Zach Jacobs? Hello, everyone.
I would be by far the ugliest girl ever created in the history of the world if I was a girl.
Let's not even think about that. All right. Each week, I'm going to try to do something where we make a topic that might not have been asked in the live feed, and it also might have been, or in the questions beforehand. But this week, opening remarks I want to have is Panini One and One. And I was discussing in some DMs earlier today this set with someone, and I was really just starting to get interested in the set overall. I knew it came out. I knew people were buying it, selling it, what the pulls that they were getting, the different sets and everything. But just right before we went live here, I posted this to Instagram asking people, what are your thoughts on Panini One and One basketball? Because for football, they've had Panini One for the past few years, and it was pretty much one card per box, generally a patch autograph. I think it was always a patch autograph. But this year, they reconfigured the product for basketball, and it is 2 cards per box, and you get an autograph and a non-autograph, I believe. And the set is pretty darn hot. The downtown inserts that you see on the left there of Zion are extremely hot. That's the rookie. They actually put the rookie logo on them now, which is huge. And that card's going for around $6K right now. And then the John Morant non-autograph right there, numbered on 99. That is from the base set. And we're going to dig into this a little bit more in the next slide. But that card is $715. It is the base card in the set. It's numbered on 99. For my money, that's one of the best looking base card designs I've ever seen between Immaculate and NT as well. But the thing about NT and Immaculate is that they don't include rookies in their base set. It's just the veterans. So these have rookies too. They're foily on top, which is huge, and they have awesome photography that fills up a lot of the image, and I love them. And then we're going to check them out in the next slide too, in a second here, because the Zion on the left is, in my opinion, the best Zion rookie released this entire year. Nate, is that not one of the coolest Zion rookie cards you've seen?
Well, it's a great image.
Yeah, it's so awesome, and the set, the design really lends itself to awesome photography and low numbered rookie cards too, because they're all out of 99. So that is really sweet. And if you look in the bottom left corner, that Zion, there have been none that have sold that I could find. Maybe there were some keyword listing errors from people that maybe not be able to find any that sold yet. But this one is at $1,350 with 4 days left on the bids. I did not include the amount of days left, but I believe it's 4 days left on the bids. It's at $1,350. And if you're wondering about the autographs from this set of Zion Williamson, the rookie patch autos, numbered on 99, they sell for around $900 to $1,000 right now. So this card is far exceeding the autographs from the set. I think that it's the best Zion rookie of the year. In my opinion, if you take just the design of it, I'm not talking about like gold prism out of 10. I'm not talking about that stuff. Just based on the design, best Zion rookie of the year. The John Morant's really cool too, and those are around $700 as you saw on the last slide. And then the downtown inserts that they added this year, they used to be in Cornerstones. Before that, they were in Panini Studio. It's a massive insert for basketball. They brought it back this year. And I know in football, it's an optic. Nate and I had that discussion last week, actually. But if you're looking at the John Morant, now this is where I'm a little concerned, I will say this, of the prices out of the gate, because the John Morant non-graded rookie downtown is selling around $3,000 right now. If you look at the Trae Young from Cornerstones in 2018, so last year, a 9.5 recently sold for $1,220. From this year's 1 and 1, non-rookie Trae Young non-graded sold for $900. And I know that was about 2 weeks apart, but still, the prices are so high in these downtown inserts. It worries me that they might drop in the future, or that just means that the Trae Young is an insane buy. One of the two things. It means one of the two things there. So I'd be careful if you're buying the singles out of this set, maybe the downtown particularly. I know that they're amazing looking cards. They're definitely the chase cards in this set, along with the timeless moment autographs, which we'll hit on right here. That is one of the best looking cards I've ever seen as well, that Vince Carter autograph on canvas. It is awesome. Numbered on 99, sold for $1,700. And then that Zion Williamson on the right, I wanted to show the two differences in the autographs. The Vince Carter on the left, the canvas autograph is on card, just amazing signature. The Zion on the right, and this really hurts the product. It does hurt it a lot, I'd say, that some of the rookie patch autographs are sticker autographs. This is not a product that should have sticker autographs on it, especially when you're including beauties like that Vince Carter. That hurts in some fashion, I'd say. I mean, that Zion, how is that different than any other rookie patch auto that's from a non-NT or immaculate set? It's really not that different. I'd for sure want a Noir patch autograph over that Zion RPA right there. But the timeless moments, the downtown and the base set, I think, make this set awesome. In terms of the box prices, so the last two sales was $680 and $700 for a box. The sales on November 24th were around $475 to $500. So this product has obviously gained a lot of steam since it released. There's a lot of people chattering about these timeless moments autos. The secondhand values are obviously unbelievable. Dennis Rodman's around $1,200 and Dirk Nowitzki's around $3,500. And then there's also parallels of these cards. There's red and I think a green of it. I know a Trae Young's like $1,800. And then these downtowns are huge for the set too, which is why the boxes have risen in price. And then I think the base set actually makes the entire set, to be honest, because we've seen downtown and other sets. Timeless Moments is a new set, but we've seen, good photography on card autos. I think the base set numbered on 99. I know that Giannis veteran numbered on 99 sold for $200+. And the photo's unreal. I should have included it in here. If you haven't seen it, you should go look up Giannis 1 and 1 of 99 because it's an amazing card. Hey, and go ahead, Nate.
No, keep going. I'll add in at the end.
I'm pretty much wrapping up here. I'm just saying, I don't know if this means that this set's going to be awesome long term. I don't know if they're going to continue in the future. But all I know is that timeless moments, downtown, and the base set from this set are just unbelievable. And I've heard people say set of the year. I've heard people say that every single break that's getting listed of this is filling really quickly, selling out. So I wouldn't be surprised. And this is a breaker's paradise right here. 2 cards per box. You don't have to handle a bunch of base cards. It's really, really a product that breakers are continue to snap up, I feel, and break for people.
Yeah. Can you go back to the second slide?
Yeah.
Shout out to the person who chose the Vancouver Grizzlies jersey as the photo for this Ja Morant. Excellent.
For sure. I agree.
Choice.
I agree.
Just a really, really kind of cool, I don't know, just something I noticed and I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of what's going on here with the downtowns is that not many people know about Cornerstones because it was just really a set for the last 2 years and they didn't make it again this year. And now any set that releases this year, all these inserts just automatically become huge if they were cool in the past, but not that many people know about them. The values there with the Trae Young from 2018 and some of that stuff kind of concern me. And I see Ziggy coming in here. It says Breaker's Nightmare, skunked and skunked here, meaning that some of these boxes yield nothing good, which I should say this. Do not buy these boxes always expecting to hit Vince Carter auto, Zion auto, Ja Morant downtown. We got to remember that boxes go both ways. You'll have huge boxes and then you'll have many, many terrible boxes. So I'm sure that some of these boxes that come out have got Carson Edwards patch autographs and, whoever else, rookie card, Kevin Porter Jr. rookie card from the base set. So I would not say snap these things up to just break them at insane rates because I don't want to lose a ton of money. But in terms of just sealed product, I mean, a lot of people hold sealed product and it gains in value, even if there are terrible boxes out there. We've seen Hoops Blasters go up to $80. So clearly, sealed product sells.
Yeah.
And with that, do you have anything else to add to that?
I was just gonna say it's like every box. I watch guys at Brewtown rip, boxes of Prism football for $200 some last year, $300, whatever it was, and hit $10 worth of cards inside, right? And other times they hit, There's one box that had it was an insert auto of Dwayne Haskins out of 10, a 1/1 John Elway insert, and a Jarrett Stidham gold, I believe, something like that. That's a ton of money.
At the time,
and on the other end of the spectrum, you get it's the same way with every box, but this was a little bit worse because you're only getting 2 cards.
Yeah, and I see a comment here from GT Black. I'd way rather have Panini keep this product and drop encased. I think encased product where that BGS grades the cards and you get some there like 8.5s in there. That's just kind of annoying. And Nate's about to pull out an encased card. I know
that.
Here, I'll make this screen bigger for people really quick. Yeah, look at Nate right there. Frank Mason encased auto.
Hey, that's out of 25.
Trash.
G League MVP right there. Wish he got picked up by a team, but whatever.
It's too bad. Is he off the Bucks now? I didn't track that.
As far as I know, he did not resign with the Bucks. So,
gotcha. All right. Well, that's the opening remarks, and now we will jump into the next questions. And if 54 viewers in here, if you guys can hit that like button, get this video out to more people. Last week we had just about 200 viewers in here, and it was a really awesome time. So we'd appreciate getting this video out to more people to discuss sports cards. Moving on to the first question of the day from Negative Gaming, Wild Rift Negative Gaming. What a name there. Is the player's jersey a huge factor when it comes to the price of the card? Speaking about AD and LeBron cards, fluctuating, and Prism and Select base and silvers are those the first ones to rise up. So just a really quick comparison here on 2 cards, one for LeBron, one for AD. So if you look at 2017 Select Premier Silver PSA 10 of LeBron, featured in the Cavs jersey there, $180 for the PSA 10. Jump to 2018, a set that's a year later. Keep in mind, generally, as these sets progress down the line, the values of the cards drop for veterans. But if there's external factors here, like one's in a Cavs jersey for LeBron, the next is in a Lakers jersey, this Premier Silver PSA 10 for the 2018 Select sold for $267 combined with shipping. So that right there, and I would even argue that the Premier Silver PSA 10 would be worth more now because that sale I showed there is from October 26th, and the Select 2017 sale is from December 3rd. So clearly, Lakers playing into a huge effect there. And yes, I think if people are huge Lakers fans and they're like, man, LeBron's going to win another championship, I want to go get one of his first Lakers cards, they're not buying that 2017 Select, which is exactly why I believe that this Lakers one is worth a lot more. And then you can also see it with Anthony Davis cards. So the first one there is a 2018 Optic Holo PSA 10. That was a buy it now of $100. I'm not sure if that card actually sells for $100 in auction. And of course, it's hard to compare that to another buy it now too. But this 2019 Optic Holo PSA 10, when Anthony Davis is in the Lakers jersey, sold for $150. So I do think that there's something to be said for people chasing, Lakers jersey cards for LeBron and AD. I think that kind of plays into effect for other players as well. But I'd say these two would be the most drastic because they went to a huge market. Well, LeBron's market's always going to be huge no matter where he is. It doesn't matter. But at least for Anthony Davis, he went from New Orleans to the Lakers and, of course, won a championship. So it matters a ton. Matters a lot. All right.
Hey, question over here on the side. Thoughts on grading one-on-one risk breaking the sealed case versus PSA 10 upside?
So not going to lie, I haven't held any of these cards in hand. I know that obviously the RPAs are thick stock. I do not know if that base cards are thick stock. I'd imagine that they are thick stock based on how they look, the foil and everything. They would be more difficult to grade than maybe the downtown insert, which I would assume is on thin stock, like, a base paper card or prism card. I don't know if there's a whole lot of upside in grading the thicker base cards. Now, PSA 10 is clearly going to be worth more than case versions. So sure, do it if you know that you're going to get a PSA 10. I'm sure PSA 9 does have a lot of value because I'm sure a lot of these cards too are PSA 8s, but keep in mind
they are thick, even non-RPAs. House of Cards says.
Yeah. So, I mean, I honestly, I think that those thick base card rookies, if that Zion's a PSA 10 numbered on 99 thick stock, PSA 10, that's a huge card, massive card. I'd say do it if you think you got a good condition one, even the PSA 9. All right. We all know the market has exploded over the last 6 months, with basketball specifically averaging 4 to 10 times prices. Price rises depending on the card. If demand has increased exponentially, wouldn't producers like Panini increase supply to meet that new demand in the same way they did during the junk wax era? The 24K plus Luka Prisms on PSA were produced in 2018. Before the boom, who is to say there won't be 100K in next year's Prism, meaning PSA graded cards, because there's clearly 100,000 Lukas printed. And then if so, is it Junk Wax era 2.0? I think every other live stream we have some type of question down these lines. First off, I do not think it's going to be Junk Wax era 2.0 for a couple reasons. The biggest being artificial scarcity from the products, different products in production rather than a million cards of the same thing. Like, there's a million Ken Griffey Jr. upper decks out there. There's a million Donruss Ken Griffey Jr.'s out there, but there's a lot of artificial scarcity in different products being produced. And then social media plays an insanely big factor into the information sharing, the being educated, the understanding what card is a good buy, what card might not be a good buy. And then another big factor, I think, is that sure, maybe base cards and silvers do get produced at like insane amounts. It just means that they'll be worth less, even to people right now. Like the values are just going to be lower right now if they produce 100,000 or more than that, but enough to have 100,000 graded by PSA of LaMelo Ball. The prices are just going to be lower because of that. And we've seen that each year, how the prices of a comparable player kind of go down every single time as you get the PSA 10 graded card. Because if you think about it, like if Devin Booker and Zion Williamson had the exact same PSA 10 population, Zion would shatter Devin Booker's $1,300 valuation when Zion's like $700 right now. There's like 15K PSA 10s already. All the numbered cards, all the different ways to, produce scarcity and inserts and SSPs and case hits, all that stuff adds into why I don't believe we're in Junk Wax era 2.0. Nate, you agree with that? Any thoughts?
I guess my only concern, I think people are really smart about what they're buying, and we try to let people know what is smart to buy. But I do concern Caesar says here just too much product is my issue, and I would agree. Just so much stuff, and you've seen it now. Panini One and One, clearly Donruss, and whatever the next thing they're going to make to try to get value on Zion and Ja because this rookie class coming up is terrible. I mean, how many new products are they going to make so that they can keep getting money off of this class?
They just came out with Hoops Premium, and I don't remember that being talked about for a while. It wasn't like that was planned for a long time. I wonder if they just like came up with that in the last 3 months or 4 months.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think that what we're going to see is markets rise and markets fall based on how stuff gets produced, what products come out, what people are interested in. I think it's just going to be a constantly evolving thing. I don't think that it's like there's not going to be a moment of realization when you go to a show and then you realize that every single person has a Ken Griffey Jr. And then you go to another show and then every person has a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. And then the next thing you know, the internet comes out and then you find out that there's like a million Ken Griffey Jr. rookies. Like that's not going to happen. The internet's out right now. So much information is being sold or shared. I don't think they were going to fall into something like that. And look at Mr. Flores is giving $10 for Nate. Oh my gosh, look at GT Black. Aaron, you're perfect in your own way. Got $20 on donations for just us being here. Thank you guys a lot. We appreciate that.
Aaron, not so much. Yes, correct. You better tell your girlfriend that you are in fact not cute, and you've really been pulling the wool over her eyes.
Jeez.
So as for OnlyFans, no.
No, thank you. All right, moving on. I like to throw this one in because I think that there's a good amount of discussion for this to be had in the future too. Do you see the Pokemon graded market significantly dropping in the 6 to 12 months in the next 6 to 12 months due to more graded cards coming? The way I think about this, well, first off, I have on the screen just to explain. October 26th, Blastoise first edition Holo PSA 8 was selling for $9K. Now November 30th, which was a month after, it's down to $5K. So clearly that's almost a 50% drop. If you watched the video that I put out the day after the Logic sale of $220K for Charizard, the YouTube stream of Logan Paul breaking the box for everyone doing the $11,000 packs of the first edition box, I said specifically, right now is the time to sell your first edition PSA 10s or whatever PSA graded you have, and your 1999 base and limited hollow, PSA graded, all that stuff, because of the simple fact of one, yes, many more cards are going to get graded, and two, because you always want to sell into hype. You always want to think about when is it talked about the most. And that was the most, I said in the video, the most I've ever seen Pokemon cards talked about in the last however many years. And, now I have another thing to add in here. That's not me talking about that Pokemon cards are trash. I think a lot of you guys know, if you're in here, that I love Pokemon cards. And I even have some stuff behind me displayed. The only reason why I said that is because you want to make sure you capitalize on that market boom. The market went up so darn fast that's just unsustainable going forward. Like, to sustain, one, the growth, and two, the prices was nearly impossible. But what it did do is this: it brought in an incredible amount of new collectors and new buyers and new investors. And the prices now are still way higher than over the summer. So you get this ridiculous peak that just makes no sense. And clearly that's not going to sustain. So it goes down. But now you create this new level of a market. You create a lot of new people that enjoy it, a lot of new people that want to buy it, a lot of new people that want to collect it. And going forward now, we have this floor created to where there's actually opportunity to buy in if you're a collector. The opportunity was not much there, or investor, I should say. The opportunity was not really there buying up the peak, obviously. But now, as it settles down, as people start to learn more about the sets, learn more about the PSA pop reports, learn more about other sets in existence other than just the base set, which is what everyone was buying for a good month straight. There's so much more space to cover in Pokemon, so much more to learn, so much more to buy, so much more to sell, so much more to grade, that it's going to be really, really strong for the long-term health of Pokemon, I think. And I think there's going to be a ton of people that are going to get into it. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to stay in it. And I think anyone that already dropped out. And I'm not really worried about in 6 to 12 months is just going to be a significant drop. I think over time, those 6 to 12 months, there's going to be a lot more demand coming in that will help offset those supply. Now, certain cards are going to get graded at insanely high rates. Sure, maybe there is a drop in price even more so from here, but I think that there's a good floor that was created. And with that, I want to tell you guys, so today we created the Slabstacks Pokemon Discord. And for those of you that use Discord, you know what this is. For those of you that do not, it is a chat community to where members join and talk about different things, at least in our server, about Pokemon and different sets and vintage and modern, and even a buy, sell, trade section. I have the link on the screen here that you guys can go to. I also have it in the caption that you can go to join right now. I put out a request on our Instagram page today. If people want to join an Instagram chat, let me know for Pokemon cards. I'd love to start to get close with some community members. And that thing filled up in under an hour. There's actually like 40 some people that messaged me in under an hour. So I created a Discord that I've been sending everyone to that wants to join in. We already have almost 100 people in here looking to build it further in the future too. And we have some big plans to launch a Pokemon brand soon. I think you guys are all going to really enjoy what we're doing, and we hope to see you guys there too, and in the Discord right here. So if you're looking to learn more, you don't even need to know anything right now. I implore you to join. There'll be lots more information sharing, lots more things to get involved in to start to build your Pokemon collection, possibly investment portfolio, and whatever else you want to do with it. We appreciate you guys, helping us out and joining that and seeing where it goes in the future. We're really excited. Okay, there's like zero chance I'm reading this entire question. Dwayne, you're probably here. I really appreciate the question, but there's no way I'm going to read the entire question. Nate's not going to either because it'd take too long. But I did read this beforehand, so don't think that I didn't read it. Talking a lot about making low investments because Dwayne got into the hobby in March. And if you got into the hobby in March, you're going to be very well off. A lot of basketball cards from March until now are up like 5 to 6 to 8x, as we saw in the previous questions that we had. And he's wondering if he should be selling these on the high right now, because if you've seen, the basketball market is just unbelievable right now. We are going to surpass August peak. We already have in some cards, or in some cases in cards, surpassed August's peak. Gary V just tweeted yesterday about how the sports card markets, or the basketball card market, is going to be huge this season again. And there's going to be a lot of factors pushing into the fact that, sports cards are going to be huge still. And he's just wondering, should I hold on to my stuff in 2 to 5 years while I find that these modern cards are way overpriced, or like for Giannis and Trey and Ja, or should they be never have been worth more than Kobe Topps rookies? And basically anyone that's in this situation that has, actually, really nice cards that they're investing in, it's twofold. And I think that maybe a lot of you have heard me talk about for the last couple of weeks what I do in the situation. I think one, it's based on your financial situation. I think if you're someone who, is using this as a way to build up your capital, to continue to progress your investing, progress your collection, progress your sports card business, you have to be, willing to take profit along the way and understanding which cards are you making the most profit on, which cards you're okay with selling now, knowing that they might go through dips, they might go through more peaks. Just like if people were selling into the August peak, you're probably like, holy crap, 2 months later, I'm so happy. Like when October hit, you're probably like, thank goodness I sold in October. These cards are worth like 40% less than what I sold at. But now you're probably like, oh my gosh, they're right back to where I sold at. Are they going to go higher? So there's constantly going to be changes in the marketplace. You can't always think about, did I miss out on the profit, this and that. You just got to be happy with what you achieve. When you achieve it, if you're willing, if you want to sell, then, and I would say that there are going to be cards that people are going to be like, well, how did I not sell that? Because now this guy's irrelevant in the sport, irrelevant in the card market. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly which one of your cards you should be selling, because that's up to you. Which ones do you value the most? Which ones do you enjoy the most? And whatnot, and which ones do you collect the most? But I would say if it were me, I'd definitely be taking profit on some of these cards going into the season, because you don't know what happens when the season comes. Someone might get hurt. Cards drop 50%. We saw that during the bubble too.
If it were me and I had bought in extremely cheaply, specifically with these guys, Luka, Giannis, Trey, Ja, I would look at it from a standpoint of, and I disappeared for a little bit, so I don't know if you brought this up. But look at it from a standpoint of, does this guy look like he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, all-time great? Giannis and Luka seem like they're on that trajectory for me, so I would probably hold. Trey and Ja, at least right now, just seem like they'd probably just be merely really, really nice point guards for the era, right?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, what weighs into that too, is like, if they're not like Giannis and Luka, if they're not like future Hall of Fame guarantees, or at least what you think might be a guarantee, then there's more upside because they have more room to grow too. Like if they do grow into that, so to speak. So there's always like two sides to the coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, key comment right here from Mike610 NYC: buy the rumor, sell the event. That can never be more true.
Yep.
Good one. Right
also, huge conversation on the in the chat on if we are close to.
Are you going to say anything?
Why can't I come up with the word? Junk wax era, right?
Oh,
so if you guys have any opinions on that, jump into the chat, add along, because there's a good conversation going. So that's all I got.
Jordan Hudson says, if this live stream can get 100 likes, I'll donate a Joe Burrow absolute rookie number 158 for a Raz. I'm not sure. I think that means giveaway. If that's okay with the Slapsacks guys and they run the Raz, I'll cover shipping costs also. You heard it here. If we get to 100 likes live on this show, Jordan Hudson will give away his absolute rookie card of Joe Burrow. I do not know the best way to go about that, but we'll figure it out if we get to 100 likes. But y'all have to keep me posted because I can't see that right now. I can also track it on my phone though later.
Yeah, how do we find the likes?
Just go on
the. Do I have to go on YouTube specifically instead of?
Yeah, but go on your phone though, so you don't slow down your stream.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, track them as we go, and we'll figure out a way how to do it. But your question's up, so don't pull up just yet.
Oh, okay. I won't do it just yet. Do you see Mike Trout ever ending up on the East Coast, Boston, Philly, kind of his hometown, or one of the New York teams? What will that do for his card values? I see them greatly improving if he goes to a major East Coast market, or do you think it doesn't matter much? I can see Steve Cohen making a move for Trout. So, a lot to unpack here. Number one, yes, Philly is kind of his hometown. He grew up in southern New Jersey, and Philadelphia was the closest major city to him with the sports teams. He's a big Eagles fan. I'm sure he grew up as a big Phillies fan. So that part, not important to the question, but answered it anyways. As for moving, number one, we have the prices here: almost $2,500 for a PSA 10, and almost 5,000 or 5,124 out of 8,715 total for PSA 10s. There, just so you have the background numbers. Now, is he going to move? Well, here I have in the middle, and I realize I'm moving my mouse with it, but you guys can't see my mouse. So, in the middle here, we have his contract, 2021 through 2030, and you'll notice he's owed $37,116,000 every single year for the rest of his career, so to speak. I'm sure he'll get a little contract at the end to go into the 40s there, but up till 38. That takes a certain team. Steve Cohen is correct in, he's got the money to be able to afford that type of contract, but you have to be able to afford that contract and give up like legit premium prospects to get Mike Trout at this point. And I don't know how many teams would be willing to both pay him his market rate of $37 million and give up, probably a top, the Rays would have to give up like Wander Franco plus some others for the right to pay $37 million to Mike Trout. Seems unlikely that would happen, especially Rays are a bad example because they have no money anyways. But if Wander Franco was a Yankee, they'd have to give him up plus others for the right to pay Mike Trout $37 million. That seems unlikely. As for his prices going up, if he moved east, I do think there is some plausibility to that because there's a lot of people who know Mike Trout's good. Aaron, I assume you know Mike Trout's good, but have you ever really watched Mike Trout play? Because he's in a West Coast game times. I'd
probably say like other than like Twitter and YouTube highlights, maybe like 2 games live ever.
Yeah. Now, if he moved, because West Coast game times, it's 10 o'clock by the time a West Coast game starts in the East Coast. A lot of those people are in bed, getting up for 5 o'clock for their game, for their work the next day. So if he did move East Coast, say the Mets took on his salary, I do think that would be a huge boost, even though he's in California and you think, oh, huge market. The more eyes he gets on him, people understand he's good, but they don't really understand why he's good.
Right. Gotcha, for sure. I don't have anything else to add. Nate's
also, 1 second. Also, I appreciate, you'll see this, Jeff in New Jersey, from Jeff in New Jersey. Last week, I made a stupid comment about Jeff in Jersey. I was like, is he in a Jersey? Just stupid comment, right? And then he must have heard that because he changed it to in New Jersey. Now, I did want to say a couple weeks ago, somebody put Dr. Toboggan in the thing, and that is from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So for those of you that are having a little bit of fun with the names, I appreciate that. So
yeah, Nate goes through and gets these initial questions in here, so I'm sure he gets a chuckle from that. Brain up his Monday. There was something that I was going to say. Oh, yeah, we're at like 40 likes. So if we get 60 more likes to this live stream, Jordan Hudson is going to give away his Joe Burrow rookie card. And the way we're going to do that is after this live stream, if you just comment into the live that actually gets posted, that's the easiest way for us to track it. We'll leave the comments open for 2 days and we'll pick a winner via that. And then, yeah, you can get a Joe Burrow rookie card. So next one up here, another baseball question.
Oh,
well, actually, just a card question in general too.
Yeah, card question in general, more so than a rookie question. Why are good players damaged out of the pack, but the bench players are fine? The Vlad Jr. you mentioned last week, and I mentioned how I had 6 non-numbered Vlad Jr.'s, which you can see the PSA pop report down there. I have seen lots of Zion, Burrow, etc. with awful corners, and the rest of the cards fine. Is the manufacturer doing this as a form of pop control? Now, I can't speak for the manufacturer, but I can probably speak for a little bit of your psyche in saying that you're probably super hyper aware. At least I know this happens to me. I'm hyper aware of the Vlad Guerrero Jr. conditions. And I'm hyper aware of, the Tatises and the Eloys and the Lucas and the Giannis's and, the Joe Burrows and Tuas and all those guys. So those are the cards I want to grade. So I'm really aware of it. Whereas, David Fletcher for the Angels, because I was trying to find a rookie to pull up a pop report of, there's only 15 cards graded of him, and he's better than a bench guy, but you get my point. There's only 15 cards graded of him, and 12 of them are PSA 10s. But the reason that PSA 10 pop report is probably so high is because people are really, just picking the excellent ones to send in. They are sure it's going to PSA 10. They're not sending in every one they get and just hoping they get a PSA 10 because it's a $200 card if it PSA 10s. They're sending it because they know it's going to PSA 10 and they probably like David Fletcher. So I think you're probably just Tim Chuck sports cards. I think you're probably just hyper aware of the good players and not as aware, not saying you're not aware, but you get my point, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. There's nothing more for me to add because you said it right. But Yo Mama cards, have you ever ripped a card? Nate, do you remember 2 years ago when we were at the Minnesota show and we were pulling out Addison Russell rookie cards from 2015 Topps Update, and we were slicing them in half live on Instagram?
I was, and then I had a knife. I had a knife in my pocket for some reason, so I was cutting them live on Instagram. And then a mom and a kid walked past, and she stared at me like I was the worst person in the world, and I instantly felt guilty.
Oh, you shouldn't feel guilty. It's Addison Russell.
No, I understand it's Addison Russell. It's more of having a knife out. A little
Yeah.
knife, but still.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, new to collecting basketball cards and don't have the money to buy PSA 10s of big name players. Say I want a Luka rookie prism. Do you think it's better to buy one raw to get graded or to get a PSA 9? A PSA 10 is out my price range, but I still want to own one. I 100% think you should buy a PSA 9. PSA 9s right now are around $600 and raw goes between 460 and 550, somewhere even maybe a little bit above, a little bit below, based on if it's good condition, good centering or not. But in my opinion, there are so many Lukas out there that's been graded. It's been 2 years since release now. I would not expect many to get 10s at all. Probably like none. So I would go 9. You're probably going to get like 8s and 7s on the raws right now. And I would for sure go 9. Nate, I think that you might agree with me in that, probably, from our past discussions in the past live streams.
I'm definitely, I used to be a buy raw and grade, but nowadays, what's the likelihood of a Luka having not been combed over?
I think that there's definitely two different ways to understand it. Like right out of release, for sure, you can probably find cards to grade. You know, like they just got pulled and not that many are graded yet. But after a 25,000 have been sent to PSA, also there is nothing wrong with PSA 9s, which is true. Been saying it forever. That PSA 9s are worth buying, even if you're, budget investing, whatever. You can still make good ROI on them. It's happened time and time again for the past 10 months.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question. Something I thought of today. So say Topps Series 2 came out last year and Luis Robert was the hot card and they're like $20, $25 a card.
Yeah.
This might not be the best idea, but if I had a bunch of money, what stops me from just buying, since it just came out, just buying every single Luis Robert raw card out there, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, taking them, finding out which ones are PSA 10s, setting them in, reselling the ones that aren't PSA 10s, and you're probably getting $25 and you lose 10%. So you lose $3 a card with all the fees combined. So your $25 turns into $22. That's not
Nate,
like you could just literally buy at release, buy them all, comb through them, and then resell the ones you didn't want to grade.
You just verbally spoke how people make thousands on the sports car market.
Yeah.
People do high volume.
A poor person like me had never thought of just like buying them like every single one possible and then just grading them and reselling the rest because I am very poor and can't afford that.
All right. Moving on. Nate, you want to read this one?
Hey guys, love the show. Oh, usually I take those things out. I guess I was just trying to inflate my ego.
Oh, no. You should keep that in. He's a nice guy. Jason in Dallas. We like Jason in Dallas.
Jason in Dallas, not Jeff in Jersey, but Jason in Dallas. Hey guys, love the show. I know this is controversial, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on prepping cards for send for grading. What is acceptable and what is not? I'm not talking about trimming the cards or recoloring edges. That obviously crosses the line. But what about waxing chrome cards? I've heard more and more people talking about this and even posting tutorials on it. Do the grading companies consider this altering a card? Thanks.
Just to give a little insight on this, I don't really have like a whole lot to add on this because I know that I've never done anything with waxing chrome cards, and clearly I've never done anything with the previous trimming and recoloring edges. Big no-nos in the card market. But waxing chrome cards, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm the type of guy that's like, if you can take a microfiber cloth to the surface, clean up some smudges, maybe clean up some dirt and some debris, more power to you. I don't like the thought of waxing cards. I don't like the thought of taking wax that you'd put on like a car and putting on a surface of a card and then scrubbing it off. Like it just, doesn't happen to me. I don't get it. But I know people do it. I don't know if it's considered altering cards or not. I don't think that PSA would be like, oh, there's a piece of wax in this or something I'm going to mark it as altered. But I have no idea. I honestly don't even know how good it works. I'm assuming that you could also harm the card by doing that too. So, think about trying to touch like a $10,000 Mike Trout autograph with some wax. I know people have done that before.
Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Just give me my 8 or 9. I'll just be happy with that. And also, if you guys have thoughts on that in the chat, please give them, because I know that some of you all probably have good thoughts on that and opinions, but that's just our thought on that. When submitting raw cards for grading, there's a lot of grading questions today. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
How does any curvature affect the potential grade? I'm looking at buying a number of high profile raw prism cards. The corners and edges look good, but by looking at the photos, you can tell the card has some bend in it. Is this bad? So I try to go on eBay and find an example of this. I guess I could have went and dug around some boxes and found a card. But if you look at the back of this card, you can tell that bottom right corner on that Luca is like visibly lower than the bottom left corner because there's some bend in the card. So it's distorting the way that the card looks. It's not a straight line across because it's not flat. It's kind of curved on the top side, and then the back has got some bend, so it's kind of a little off like that. But to me, I guess also, it could be a little tilted too. That's another thing. But in general, talking about the curvature of cards, I've heard that doesn't affect the PSA grade. If you're thinking about curvature of cards, I don't know who's collected baseball back in 2010, but 2010 Bowman Chrome has got one of the worst warp sets of all time. You open up those packs and they're like bent like an arch, and then you take the cards out, and then your Steven Strasburg is like freaking just a straight McDonald's arch at that point. But yeah, I think that you'll be fine. I don't think that a prism that has some curvature, some warp to it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think they probably just slabbed it and boom, it's a straight card. It's not like that card is damaged. It's not like it's creased. As long as it's not creased, it's fine. If there's a little warp, it's not the end of the world. Put in a top loader, one that's pretty snug, I'd say, and then it should help strain it out too. 109 viewers and only 48 likes. Please hit the like button, everyone. That helps a lot. Would appreciate that a ton. It helps us get this channel out to more people, and you can possibly win a Joe Burrow absolute rookie card today.
I got
and
you.
This was Alex in Australia,
right there.
You just like it? What are we at?
48.
Woo! Hey, getting close. All right. Topps partnered with Ben Baller this year for Topps Chrome Ben Baller Edition. Could you see Topps or Panini partnering with other fashion designers, say Gucci, who already uses MLB logos on clothes, to incorporate their designs into cards? NBA players are known for being fashion conscious in their pre- and post-game outfits. They could even potentially only offer the sites in Gucci store or the products in Gucci stores or with a Gucci purchase, which would introduce the hobby to another demographic. I think it'd be cool. I mean, they're already doing it with Ben Baller cards and stuff with, Diamond Jeweler and stuff. And on the right there, shout out UW-Madison, because Virgil Abloh, who is the founder of Off-White, graduated from UW-Madison and created the Off-White collabs with Nike and many other products that are super high-end and sought after from sneaker flippers and collectors and whatnot. But I think there could be some cool things done with cards with other designers out there. And I do think that it is probably an untapped demographic, people that would get into designer cards. I think we've already seen the start of it with Ben Baller, but I think that say Gucci one more time. Did I just say Gucci like a million times there? I guess I read the question. I don't know, Nate, do you have any thoughts on that?
It feels like it would really work with it. It works with NBA. Clearly, we're seeing that it works with NBA. I just don't think it would take a special type of person like a Fernando Tatis Jr. to be able to pull something like this off. I think there's too many guys in the MLB that are very like rigid and conformed, and like I'm not going to go outside of my box or outside of my comfort zone to support.
Bro, we ain't talking about players. We're talking about Topps having Gucci design cards that they release in their shops. High-end luxury items.
I thought it was like okay, not a combination of two. Not a combination of player worn stuff and
no. Well, I'm sure that they could do that for NBA. That happened very easily. That'd be pretty cool. But I was more thinking design cards, like how Ben Baller was doing Topps Project 2020 and the Chrome cards, which steel boxes are like $400. Yeah. I think it'd be awesome to get more high-end designers involved and to put out different sets in stores and whatnot. Be pretty cool to see. I think a lot of people would come in then buy up those releases who are interested in shoes and whatever else.
I guess it depends on I still guess it depends on like your clientele then. NBA and people that are into NBA really like shoes, like fashion, that type of stuff. I feel like the people that like baseball are not really into fashion, so I feel like a Gucci fashion line for baseball would fall flat.
See, but I think that you're still missing the slight point that this person's talking about getting these in the hands of a new demographic, a new group of people that don't even know about cards. Like, you know how people go nuts for off-white Jordans? What if those people who go nuts for off-white Jordans never collected shoes in the past, and then Virgil does a combo with Panini and does off-white Prism? They release it only via Virgil's distribution networks, and then those people start to buy Prism.
Okay, and then they get into card market and they get into other things. Okay, I get where you're going with this then.
But I will say that just the feel of it lends to basketball more than baseball.
Yes,
I'll agree.
That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, but I do think that some people would not really care what it is if they think that they can make money on it. I think we've seen that before too.
Yeah.
All right, this one's going to be quick. Aaron, looking towards the Euro 2021, which teams have the best chance at winning? Which teams should we be keeping an eye on? And specifically, which rookies? Thanks. So I just put the box price here of the product currently for $450. It's actually $150 lower than Panini released it for because they released it way too high. Pretty trash checklist. Not many rookies to chase after in this product. And then they released it for $600, way too high. Really did people dirty there, I think. But this question will be answered.
Panini?
What?
Panini did people dirty?
Are you saying that they've done that before?
What? Not Panini. Couldn't be Panini doing people dirty.
You mean those $15 Al Harrington Premium Edition patch autos of Immaculate?
What? That doesn't sound like the Panini I know. Not the cards that are all bent and warped in the first off the line Prism boxes. Could not be Panini.
No, I didn't think so either. But this question we'll answer on Slapstocks FC show. I'm going to bring on my man Oren, who was on the first ever feature of a Slapstocks FC show. And I'm going to have him dissect the Euro 2021 for y'all who are really into soccer. It'll be a really good show. So if you're into soccer, for sure, check that one out. Just don't have the knowledge at the moment or the time to pick apart this as much as it should be. I have a lot of 2018 cards, which I eventually want to grade. Is it better to wait until 2022 when PSA will likely lower the price for bulk submissions for 2018 cards, or will they likely increase the price again, effectively offsetting whatever discount I get for 2018 moving from ultra modern to modern? First of all, I definitely think that the last part will probably happen. They'll probably offset the cost from now until then. And then the second thing would be, I think everyone has experienced this who's been grading for the past year. It's better to send in cards now than wait another 2 months because that backlog only grows. It's only going to take you longer to get your cards back. If you have cards that are worth grading, send them in now. Don't even mess with waiting. That's what I have to say. You
said waiting 2 months, but he's talking waiting years.
Okay, I'm trying to say it's even longer. Like that does even makes less sense.
And also you run the risk of waiting on grading. I don't know who you have from 2018, but whatever player it is, you run the risk of him getting injured or pulling an Andrew Luck and retiring. And instead of capitalizing on that money now, you waited too long and you lose it.
Yeah. GV Sports Cards, don't miss out on Ansu Fati's first Chrome card Wednesday. Is Topps Chrome Champions League 2019 finally dropping? Because they pushed that thing back for 8 months. So I haven't even been able to keep up with if it's actually coming out or not. Because they even released product info for 2020 Champions League Topps Chrome, which is skipping a set ahead. So, and that's supposed to come out in February. So I'm a little confused on when this is even coming out. So if you can confirm that that's a Wednesday release, I'd appreciate that. I want to get a discussion going on Slapstocks FC tonight. And look at Nate displaying the comment right there. I had no idea we could do that really, or what it would look like. I kind of saw that feature before.
And I clicked on it. Heyo. I'm going to make use of that.
Yeah, definitely make use of that so people can see the live chat right on the screen if they're watching it back.
Hey, I like this quick. More niches in the market only help to sustain more success of the hobby, and I agree with that. I was kind of not really seeing the point on the Gucci cards, but if it's a niche that somebody gets into, then their money's in the hobby, even if it's in that niche, and then eventually they might get out of that niche. Like I start buying baseball a long time ago, and eventually it spreads a little bit into football, a little bit into the basketball, not too much. Because I'm still a baseball guy through and through. But, that money goes out into other places randomly.
Yeah, it definitely happens. I can attest to that. I've been all over the place in the hobby, just trying to learn as much as I can. Nate flexing his computer skills. Nate's got the worst computer skills on the team. That's for sure. No question. No question about that. If we look back at the cards of the 2000, of the 90s, now we see that every year the most valuable cards are the greats, regardless if it was a rookie year or not. Think Griffey, Jeter, and Jordan. Should we be focusing more on the greats, maybe serial numbered cards for current years instead of the rookies? The past is littered with promising rookies whose cards are valuable at the time but don't hold long-term value. This is a really, really good question here. Like extremely good. Because if we're thinking 10 years from now, would you rather have a Steph Curry Prism Silver from 2015 PSA 10 or Cam Reddish Prism Silver Rookie PSA 10? We don't even know if Cam Reddish is going to be relevant 3 years from now, regardless, 10 years from now. Steph Curry will for sure be relevant 10 years from now.
Can I say neither? Can I have $550 in my pocket?
No, you can't.
Oh. Can I have a PS5?
Oh my gosh, you're not getting a PS5 for $550.
Well, if I find it on one of the best buy drops.
Yeah, you're not finding that bots are. But do you agree with me here that like this is an interesting question for the fact that like if we think 10 years from now, that
yeah, I agree. You're taking a rookie of some sort of skill level compared to a 6-year vet card, and you're trying to decide which one is the better play. I would agree the Curry Silver from any random year is probably a better play than the Cam Reddish. I think they probably both go down in price.
Well, pay you might not know, but pop reports are really small in those 2015 Prism Silvers.
Fair.
I know you're less into basketball, but I just think in general, like thinking about this and why things are priced the way that they are, the Cam Reddish is being bought because people are wanting to make money in the next 3 months to a year to 2, right? People, I doubt that there are many people out there paying $515 for Cam Reddish saying, I'm going to hold this for 10 years because Cam Reddish is going to be an all-time great. They're just not.
I bet the people paying that are probably going to flip it if it hits $750.
Exactly. And that's why cards are valued the way that they are. I think that's another discussion that can come off of this. Like that's why Cam Reddish is so expensive, because people are looking to make money on him in the next 1 to 2 years versus Steph Curry. People can make money on Steph Curry in the next 1 to 2 years, but just limited on, the 1 to 2 year front.
If you take speculating out of the hobby, which this would be with Cam Reddish, it wouldn't be as hot of an industry. And that is very true, because if you took speculating out and just bought the very good players, you'd have 1,000,099 cards or less, and then just a few really, really expensive cards, and there wouldn't be much money moving around, and it wouldn't be a hot hobby. But there would be a lot of cards for kids.
Yeah, true. There's pros and cons to everything, like we always say. But yes, definitely speculating is adding a ton of value to the hobby for sure, and being able to actually make flips. I wonder. Sorry, that was a botch. I wrote in about 2017 Optic, and then I was confusing some prices on the Optic and Prism. This was a huge comment, but basically it boils down to why is the 2019 Optic Pink Hyper PSA 10 for Ja Morant less expensive than the Blue Velocity PSA 10 of Ja Morant? Because of the fact that Blue Velocity comes out of hanger packs and are 3 per hanger pack, when Pink Hyper comes on mega boxes. And if you look at Prism mega boxes and Prism hanger packs, or I should say cello packs, for the Prism, the red, white, and blue are like the worst parallel to pull. And then it's kind of flipped around here. Oh, sorry. In Prism, the mega boxes yield red ice cards or possibly pink ice. I think it goes back and forth between Target and Walmart. But right here, it's the flip side to where the Blue Velocity is valuable and the Pink Hyper is not. And I really think that this boils down more to what's the look of the card, what is the card, versus where does it come out of. I don't think anyone cares that Blue Velocity comes out of a cello pack versus a mega box. The Blue Velocity card, I think, is well known to be a better looking and more collectible card than the Pink Hyper. Just as in Prism, the ice parallels are known to be better looking and more collectible than the red, white, and blues, which, funny enough, red, white, and blues have been around since 2013, but they just get a ton of hate. I think the designs are whack some of the years, and also I just don't think that they're that good looking if cards are that collectible too, which is kind of interesting to think. Sometimes you think that like, oh, red, white, and blue would be really collectible, but it's just not that much. But that's my thoughts here. I don't think that it has anything to do with new collectors not understanding the color schemes. I don't think that people actually saying no to Prism, red, white, and blues because it comes out of a cello pack where you get 3 per cello pack. I don't think it really has anything to do with that. I think it just has even more so to do with, what is the actual card.
It does. It does match the jersey color almost, which I think is probably
It probably helps the John Morant more too, but I'm assuming that this is applied to other cards as well, not just the John Morant, the blue velocity play, especially. Yeah, and I know he asked John Morant specifically, which is why I put it up here, but just in general.
Yeah.
All right. What is a better investment? What are the multipliers? So the multipliers are impossible to say because they vary so much player to player and set to set. But select Courtside versus select Concourse Silver versus Prism Base PSA 10. And then it says select Courtside and select Concourse Silver, but we already have that here. So if you're looking at Luka Doncic, the Courtside PSA 10s have gained insane value in the last 8 months. Insane value. So has the Prism Base rookie PSA 10s and the select Concourse Silvers. But these, a lot of value because the pops are so low. The supply is so low. People really value those Courtside now. I think if you listen to the Slab Stock podcast for the last 2 years, you know that we love select. We love Courtsides, and Courtsides are dominating the market now in terms of a base rookie card because it is a short print. There is very few of these that are getting pulled out of boxes. I think it's 2 per box, and it's not just base. That's either silver. I really wish. Wait, this hurts me because Nate, you don't even understand this, but pink velocity is better than blue velocity.
Oh,
pink hyper is the one
about the optic pink. Okay,
pink hyper is the one that's worse than pink or blue velocity. Pink velocity is numbered at 79. GT Black, you might need to put in another $10 donation with Aaron as pink velocity. Just kidding. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that a ton. But back to the select debate. First off, select Concourse Silver and select Courtside PSA 10, much better than base PSA 10. Far and away better than PSA 10, as we see there with the price. But not everyone can spend $3,600 to $6,500 on sports cards. Not everyone can even spend $1,650 on sports cards. So it's hard to debate because then you have to start to think, am I buying 4 Luka base PSA 10s or am I buying 1 Courtside PSA 10? If it's me, I'm probably going with the Courtside PSA 10 because it's less than 200 pop, I think, right now still. They might be right around 200. GT Black, you messed up. I know at heart, though. I know at heart you rep me and not Nate. I appreciate that.
I can guarantee that Sam from Sam Dunks cannot dunk. So he is not a black velocity.
I can also guarantee that black velocity is one of the coolest cards out there on the market.
And I can also guarantee that Aaron from whatever your podcast name is, Slab Stocks FC, cannot shoot the ball as well as I can. So
that's a bunch of garbage. All right, Nate, do you want to talk about advanced stats in your
Yeah. So is advanced stats important for sports cards, mainly regarding basketball, but also football, research, etc. PER, BPM, PIPM, which is player impact plus minus, and BPM is box plus minus, etc. I like PIMP just as or PIPM as a side note. I like that because it paints Giannis as the clear and away top player in the league, by far. He had a 9, and the next closest was Kawhi with a 6.5. So cool. But besides the point, I don't really. Sam would be able to speak better for basketball. I don't really care about advanced stats for football. Per se, I can kind of use the eye test to decide which quarterback is going to be doing well and which isn't, and it's done pretty well for me, right? I love Josh Allen, and he blew up, type of thing. But for baseball, it's big, and he didn't bring up baseball, but I chose the question because I wanted to bring up baseball. In that, in baseball, there is so many advanced stats, and there's so many reasons why a guy is doing poorly or doing really well. And you can look at his advanced stats and say, oh, this is not sustainable. I'm not going to invest in this guy because his prices are really high. I'm going to wait for him to drop because there's no chance he carries a 400 batting average balls in play into the next season, right? With Brian Hayes. Brian Hayes was unbelievably hot. His prices went up a little bit, but he was just way too hot. Not sustainable. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got guys like Vlad Guerrero Jr., not doing great, decently fine, 115 WRC plus, which is 15% better than league average. And you can look at his advanced stats or, stats in general, and you can say, oh, look, okay, he grounds out way too much. If he could just start elevating the ball, he could really explode. And so then you start investing in him because you're like, I just believe that he could finally figure it out, and prices go off. So advanced stats in baseball really important. I won't speak on them for basketball. Sam would be able to talk about that better. For football, I just don't think they're very valuable.
Thank you, Nate, for that breakdown. Also, Luke Green says, like this video. Yes, please like this video if you're enjoying it. 115 viewers here. If we get to 100 likes, Jordan Hudson is giving away a Joe Burrow absolute rookie card. So we'll see if we hit 100 likes by the time the stream is done. Then you can drop a comment after the video is posted in the comments. But that'll be kind of hard to track. So kind of an interesting giveaway. We'll see how it goes. All right.
Wait, one second. Yeah. This is very true. If we're talking about my favorite insert from Topps products, it's Independence Day.
Favorite parallel. Get that terminology right.
What I just say?
Insert.
Oh, idiot. He's an idiot.
What, chump? Yeah, you do. You love those, especially 2018, right? Isn't 2018 your year?
Yeah, with the stars that go out.
Yeah, you gotta get yourself in a Soto someday when you're not poor boy.
Well, I'm poor, and I feel like that's just going to be always too expensive and out of my grasp. But that's
we'll see. Maybe someday. You guys may have covered this in the past, so I apologize in advance for baseball. And we have covered this a little bit, but don't be sorry because there's so many topics to revisit in sports cards, and we haven't really touched on this one a whole lot. But for baseball cards, is there any long-term value from an investment standpoint in collecting the non-Topps or Bowman brands? Prism, Obsidian, Optic, and more. I really like the look of some of these cards, but I'm just concerned that they will not hold their value over the long term. Thank you. So Juan Soto, PSA 10, Optic Hollow, $210. Now that does actually seem like quite a bit for a non-licensed, non-logo product from Panini for Juan Soto. But keep in mind, if this card was licensed and it was an Optic Hollow rookie PSA 10, and compare that to the NBA cards at Optic Hollow PSA 10s, that is really undervalued, but there's no logos, there's no team name, there's none of that, so it loses a huge market from buying that card. And that is also the reason why I say I would not buy these cards long-term for investing purposes. Collecting, if you like the look of the cards, if you really enjoy Panini releases, might be a way for you to go to get your hands on some cheap cards that have low pops and low supply because they don't make that much because not that much gets bought. But I'm just kind of out on it. Find Bowman cards, find Topps cards that are valuable and hold value long-term for sure, in my opinion.
I would agree. I'm out on it too. It's if you like the team and you can't afford a Bowman Chrome Auto, then sure, go Optic, go Prism. But for me, it's just not. I really don't like. You look at this Juan Soto card and there's no logo on the helmet, and it just looks cheesy.
Yeah, and then you look at the next to his name, it says Washington because they can't put Nationals.
This right here. Panini Baseball is bootleg. It looks like somebody took like a copy of Lord of the Rings and bootlegged it onto another DVD, and that's what they gave you, type of thing. Also, I will show Ziggy's comment. Ziggy is not wrong. Running this giveaway would be challenging, so I am secretly cheering for 99 likes by this video. Just kidding. I do want you guys to get a cool Joe Burrow rookie card in your hands, so I would figure it out for y'all. With the explosion of the hobby this year worldwide, what can happen with the supply of product to the international community? A global sports card investor, I believe you're from Australia, so I appreciate another Australian throwing in a comment. I just had a cool video with an Australian the other day on Sunday it was also as a basketball and a soccer video, which is kind of cool. There's some basketball chatter in there. But, Aaron, when are we going to take a trip down under?
Oh man, that'd be awesome. One of these days, right? Going to Cherry Collectibles, that'd be a really sweet shop tour. Would that not?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
In the coming years, that'd be really cool to do. But in terms of this question, I would way rather Panini and Topps. I know this might not be the most cost-effective way to do it. It's definitely not. Their price per customer acquisition, all that stuff would be way higher. I'd way rather focus if they need to increase supply, how to increase supply and how to get supply and product in people's hands in the EU, in Australia, in Asia, and whatnot. Because the American market's doing extremely well. There's so much supply, so many outlets to grade PSA, all that stuff. is very at hand right now. But there are a lot of difficulties. I've talked to people from the UK, Germany, Australia, a couple other places, Philippines, etc., that I would love for the companies to find ways to find releases.
Well, they just did Topps UK.
They did. The releases specific to countries, or putting certain amount of supply in other countries and having a distribution be easy, getting their packs actually into stores, because they don't do that. I know that retail is impossible to find for Americans here, but I'll tell you what, you couldn't even find it if you're a flipper in Australia. Some of this stuff, maybe in Australia you could, but I know in places like Spain you for sure can't. I've witnessed that myself. So I'd love for a way to do that. That'd be cool. I think you might agree with me on that. I don't know if you do or don't. I shouldn't guess for you. You should say for yourself.
I think more so than just getting product out there is how can you combat international shipping prices to make it viable? You know, if you buy a card for $20 and you need to make it to $40 to make $5 off it after shipping and fees.
See, but Nate, I think what we're missing here is because, and this is what I've kind of gained from talking to people in these situations. So many of those people have to do it because the companies don't do anything to get the product initially in the people's hands that are in those countries. So just the buy and selling base is like smaller in the UK, smaller in Australia because there's just less product. I think if you increase product, increase getting into people's hands, they do their own buy and selling over abroad, just between each other. Because I was talking to MP Sports Cards 1 for soccer, and he's saying, yeah, I've done more UK transactions recently than I ever have. And like, because he's buying and selling in the country, you know, they're paying those low shipping costs. So then it's making those markets there as well. And I think that's really how this becomes a global aspect, you know, a fully functional market in all parts of the world is by doing that. And in Australia, I know that.
One issue with that is then, you know, you're going to see major cards that if you live in China or America or, you know, anywhere, if you're just selling in your region, you'll never get your hands on a Zion 1 of 1 or a, you know,
now I should say that
Fletcher Black or something like that.
People should have options to buy abroad if you're willing to pay the extra shipping price. I think there's a way, and I agree that, you know, you might not be able to get that card you need, but if there's a way to do some of both, then it would be, you know, ideal. But I know that's why I kind of said going into this question, like the cost of acquisition per customer and the logistics behind this is very difficult. And it's for sure like a long-term play, like, you know, like short-term, if someone's like, oh, we can make more money by boosting all this supply and, you know, around the world, like the logistics of that's very hard and costly. No one would say let's do that in the short term, but I think that long-term that would build really well. All right. When investing in all-time greats that have multiple rookies, is it best to stick to the higher-end cards, or are less talked about rookies good as well? For example, is it better to invest in one LeBron Topps Chrome rookie PSA 10 or for about the same money, one LeBron Bowman Chrome rookie PSA 10, and one finest rookie of 99 PSA 9? Does one investment offer higher long-term upside, or are they equal? Generally, I actually want to say that a lot of this is quite equal, because if you look back a year ago, 2 years ago, all these cards have just exploded. Now, maybe the Topps Chrome PSA 10s gained higher ROI by like 10 percentage points. So yes, it's higher if you would have invested in the Topps Chrome, but like you're not hurting if you bought the Bowman Chrome and the finest rookie a year ago. If you're making that decision today, I don't think you can go wrong as well. And I know we talked about this 2 weeks ago. I think we had a question that we were breaking down like, oh, one Topps Chrome rookie PSA 10 or $12,000 worth of other LeBron rookie PSA grade cards. And we kind of just decided, I know that Nate said, he's like, you know, I want that one thing, you know, I want that one that I can just like hinge myself on, not think, oh, I need to buy and sell all these other cards and worry, is one going to gain demand and whatnot. You know that one's always going to be in demand. And if that's your game, that's your game. Go for that. If you like to spread out your investments and give yourself flexibility, you can sell one, hold one, then go with the two rookies. I think it just kind of, you know, depends on what you value in investing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And if I can explain myself a little bit, it's because I'm extremely lazy. And if you're lazy like me and not on top of your game of buying and selling all the time and tracking prices, and well, I track prices because we do our eBay links, but
yeah,
you know, if you're not on top of that game, then it's way easier to just buy one and sit on it.
Yeah, it just comes down to like, what's your style when it comes to investing. All right, a couple more slides here. Do you view select Courtside PSA 10 rookie as long-term holds? So I know this isn't the exact card you asked for, the select rookie PSA 10, because we covered that in the Luka one. If you've checked out what these courtsides have done in the last couple months, they're gaining more ROI than pretty much any card in the marketplace at the moment. The non-graded sold on September 9th for $215 of Trey. The most recent one went for $600 on December 7th. And a silver courtside short print PSA 9 sold for $33.50. And I don't know how many of you were involved a year or so ago in cards, but I could probably bet that you could have bought that silver Trey non-graded for about $200 or so. And these cards are just gaining insane value fast because of their pop reports, because of their supply, low supply, amazing looking cards, as we've said time and time again. I think long term, yes, these are going to be winners. I think Select is going to be one of the best sets to keep on being produced every year for basketball. And I'm not trying to talk short term here, because there's a chance that there's peaks and valleys all the time in sports cards. When something rises as fast like this Trey here, it could drop just as fast. But in terms of the set, I think Select Courtside's a big long-term set for sure, based on pop report supply and how the cards look, and the short amount of parallels in the set too.
Question. Yep. So I had heard a rumor that maybe this will load up for me while I'm. I'd heard a rumor that Courtside regular and Courtside silvers are like the same print runs, or there's even a lower print run. I don't know if it's true, but
it's totally false.
You can clearly see that the regular Courtside is still very expensive, right?
Yeah.
Why does it feel like Patrick Mahomes' field level, or even in any football? So we're looking right here, November 25th, Patrick Mahomes' field level non-graded $935, but a PSA 10 is $26.50. I guess that's not as. What I'm trying to say is I feel like they should be more expensive compared to like basketball, because Patrick Mahomes is cream of the crop, and you're looking at Luka as being $6,500 for a non-silver courtside PSA 10, but a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who is the top quarterback in the league, is $26.50. Do you think football field levels are going to catch up to courtsides, or do you think just because it's football and not NBA, it will always be lower?
I think football and NBA is a good place to start, but I think the biggest thing for me, why you might be like, oh, that seems undervalued comparing it to basketball cards. You gotta understand the prism dynamics in football back in 2017. There are absolutely not 14,000 to 15,000 Patrick Mahomes PSA 10 base rookie cards. There's not. There's like a couple thousand. And my thinking is so many people will gravitate to that card with the lower pop versus the field level, because it is select, it's not prism. But in basketball, it just presents such a better opportunity because of the low pop compared to the prism-based rookies for Luka. And if you don't know, I made videos on it in the past, but the prism silvers for football were the base in 2017 and 2016. Not anymore. That's not the case anymore. They are short prints now. But back then they were the base, and the pop reports are quite low and hard to grade on guys like Mahomes, especially with the print defect that was on those cards. So in my mind, that's why that happens. Is there still room on select field levels in football? I'm sure that there is. And it might pose a undervalued question on the Mahomes, but I just think that there's more upside in the basketball courtside market because of how different they are from the prism market.
Yeah. Okay. Just a question.
Good question to pose though. I have a full set of 2012 Prism basketball. I'm wondering, is it best to sell individual cards or the set as a whole? First of all, that's an awesome set. Congrats on that. Really cool that you have a set, because it is valued at around $3,000 right now for a complete set of 2012 Prism. And I can guarantee you that those sets were less than $100 for a long, long time. And well, they should have been less than $100, I assume, especially back in 2012 and 2013. But if you think about how much is a PSA 10 Kawhi and how much is a PSA 10 Anthony Davis, if you're an investor and you have a complete set and those PSA 10s, and you can get PSA 10s on those cards, you 100% should break up the set and grade them, because between Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, all these other guys, their PSA 10s are super expensive, because Anthony Davis is like $1,750, Kawhi is like $2,800 or something, Damian Lillard is like $500 plus, Jimmy Butler was like $500 plus, probably like $350, $400 now. Bradley Beal, there's a lot of guys. Klay Thompson. But if you're just like a hey, I just want my complete set. Like, I like it as a complete set, keep it as a complete set. Not ungraded. But if you're looking to make money on it, sell it. Obviously, it says it's best to sell the individual cards or the set. That's what I'd say. If you're looking to gain the highest ROI, and if you have like PSA 9 and PSA 10 condition cards, if they're like 8s, then keep it as a set.
Yeah. Or send every single card in to get graded.
We talked about that last week. What if someone just had like a 2018 Topps Update PSA 10 complete set?
And then PSA 7s, PSA 6s, PSA 10s.
Do you think, how many sets do you think could be complete, no matter the grade, PSA of 2018 update? That would mean that every single card at least has to have one PSA graded card, no matter the grade. How many do you think are in existence to be complete?
Like,
do you think that there's even one?
People actually have it? I don't think anybody has that.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying even possible to have it because they're in the pop report. Do you even think that there can be one complete PSA graded 2018 update set? That'd mean that like Michael Fulmer needs to have a PSA graded card in 2018 update or something.
Oh, I see. Like right now.
Yeah.
If I wanted to put it together without grading any cards myself, could I do it?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Somebody
would be grading Joe Blow relief pitcher that pitched, 20 innings for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Nobody would do that.
Just an interesting thought.
But I do. I think that's a life goal now. Get one of my favorite sets and just PSA grade every card.
Try to find a set that has like 100 or less cards. That'd help.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, I guess we're wrapping up here. Good timing as well. And thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for hitting that like button. We did not hit the 100 likes. So Jordan Hudson, come back next week so we can try to give away your Joe Burrow absolute rookie card again. And I see Cleveland Brown was asking a lot here. I missed it the last couple of times. Do you have any hockey at all? I actually do have some hockey. I have some Jets cards from my time with Trees Collectibles. I was joining some of his breaks and trading some cards, and he had some cool ones for my PC. And I also have a Mike Madonna 1998 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor PSA 10 numbered out of 100. Yeah, Nate.
Fun fact. There was one time Aaron, busy, couldn't get into the break, always bought Winnipeg Jets. And I noticed that he wasn't in it yet for Trees' hockey break. So I jumped on. I messaged Trees. I said, Trees, give me the Winnipeg Jets. I go to work. I log into his break. Aaron's making fun of me. They're through like 7 of the 8 boxes. They have not hit any Winnipeg Jets cards at all. I'm like, well, that was a waste of $20 or whatever. And then the last box, dual auto sign of the times of 2 Winnipeg Jets players I'd never heard of in my entire life. And Aaron was so angry. It was the funniest thing in the history of the world.
It was a silver ink dual auto of Patrick Laine and Mark Sheffley. I think I said that right. But number
that was the only hockey card I've ever owned.
Yeah, and then I traded Nate's a couple of baseball cards. I remember you sold immediately because they were like, who was that guy? Who was that Cardinals guy? Is it Blue Refractor Auto?
Oh,
Cabrera or something? Or
I'll never remember at this point.
Eduardo something? I don't know. I remember his cards are going for insane values out of release though. But yeah, that was the story. It's funny stuff. And yes, I actually did pull a Bobby Orr Auto numbered out 5 also my birthday last year.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that was one of my biggest hits. That's super awesome out of ice. That was really cool. But with that, done for this week. Another Monday YouTube live show wrapped up. Thank you all. Poop from Yo Mama Cards. Great show again, Nate. Thanks for joining me. These are always the best. Definitely the most fun live show we do, I'd say, and also the best discussion. We get some really good discussion here. Thanks to you guys. That chat goes crazy.
Yeah, not only do we get good discussion with what people send us in beforehand, but we get good discussion on the side. And there's really good discussion on if we thought it was junk wax era in the comments. So even if you don't want to listen to us, you can still come in here and join the chat and tune Aaron and I out and just carry on a conversation with like-minded card collectors.
Yeah. Look at this guy. He's up arrowing. It looks like it's pointing at you right now. This guy said poop. And then also Jordan Hudson says next week he'll throw in a Tua. So make sure you come back next week and get this video to 100 likes and let's get more people in this live chat. We really appreciate it. To those of you that donated some super chats today, we really appreciate that. And Yo Mama says, sorry, I meant Carson Wentz. Well, they are one and the same right now. Poop and Carson Wentz.
Oh, so bad.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Ziggy, thanks for the healthy wishes. And to you guys all too, stay healthy and keep collecting sports cards and keep that passion going. We